Okay, it is lunchtime here at the Northeastern University campus, right off the Ruggles station exit. If ever there was a Harry Potter kind of, you know, association, it's Ruggles or the Hermes store on Boylston. Anyways, I am here at the uh, Veterans Memorial here on the campus of Northeastern University. And slowly the city is beginning to dig out from the nor'easter that kind of came through here the past week or so and left things uh, snowbound. Um, and things have been being dug out here and stuff like that. Um, but with this new year, it at least for me is a time of reflection. Uh, Oddly enough, ironically enough, instead of a forward march, if you will, into the future. I've been kind of looking back instead of, well, I certainly am headed forward, but for some reason, the beginning of this year, I don't know, it could be intuition from the past 10 years, but it's given me a moment of pause to look back and see just where I've come from. And most significantly with this cyclone bomb or bomb cyclone or whatever, the latest meteorological term is to define it. Um, I've been thinking about weather events that I have gone through, and I am proud to say I'm still here today, in spite of them. It's funny, I look back and I think, wow, I've been through some major events in major cities that, it's like, the neighbors are, still talking about today. It was, what was it, 2004 and 2005, and I was on the streets in Pasadena, California. Now, mind you, I had just lived in Pasadena, a very nice studio downtown Pasadena, for the past 15 years or so. And but I found myself now homeless in a city that was, in later days, they'd called gentrifying. But I found myself on the streets in Pasadena during the 2004 2005 rain season, which turned out to be the second rainiest season in the history of LA recording. In the 15 years that I'd lived in LA, there was no more than a trace amount of rain in any rain season. In fact, until that year, I didn't know LA had a rain season, but I learned it. And I survived also December 28th, 2004 in Pasadena, California, which turned out to be the second wettest day in the history of Los Angeles. So, I don't know how many inches fell in a given amount of time, but it was a huge amount. And it was the second wettest day in LA history. Okay, so on to Phoenix I went, and I spent 10 years or so in an apartment there, and then eventually found myself again on the street. And while on the street there in 14, and then just this past year in 17, I found that both of those years were the hottest years on record in downtown Phoenix. 14 was the hottest after 13. And when I went back there this past year, they had an article in the local paper there about 17 being the hottest year in the history of Phoenix. Aside from the hottest, we could also go to Houston, which a year ago, no, 2 years ago now, in April, they had the biggest rainfall there in like 10 or 15 years. They had flooding in the middle of April and literally closed the city down on April 17th in the middle of the week. I woke from my squat in the field to come out to like the third largest city in the country, and I'm walking around like the Omega Man, like Charlton Heston in an old movie from my time. An empty U.S. city, So that was, that encounter in Houston. And then now, just this past week, here in Boston, I survive and battle through a nor'easter or a whiteout or a cyclone bomb, and flooding down by the seaport that the city has not seen in a long time, in over 30 years. I think since the blizzard of 78, the city has not seen such flooding or snowfall at one time in such a short amount of time. So, it's what can I say? It's if the communities and weathering the communities haven't been enough, weathering the weather has been something for this traveler across the country. And it's just interesting that somehow I find the weather finds me, so anyways, okay, it's a snowman here, and I'm just throwing snowballs out here at the Northeastern University Veterans Memorial.